Today I'm having something. I think you can get it in America as well, but it's not as common. Um, it's a type of fried chicken. It's called Korean style fried chicken. Um, so there are definitely places that do Korean style fried chicken in America, but it tends to be a lot less common than, say, like American style fried chicken. Um, Whereas here in China, probably the only place you can get American style fried chicken in most places is KFC. KFC will have like original recipe KFC kind of thing. Um, but pretty much any other restaurant that's doing fried chicken is going to be Korean style. Um, the main difference is from what I've noticed, is in the batter. The batter's a little different. It can tend to have a slightly different consistency, and it tends to be a little bit more sort of flake. There's more bits of batter on each individual piece of chicken, and also the batter itself tends to be less seasoned, and then you put things on it after you've fried it. Whereas with American fried chicken, we tend to try to like flavor the chicken, flavor the batter, and then you just eat that. With Korean style, they do like, if it's a good restaurant. That's the thing, is a lot of the ones here don't really do this, but with good Korean chicken, they'll also do that. But then the bigger flavoring will be that you put sauce on it, or you put some kind of powder sprinkle seasoning on it. So this came in kind of like a cardboard box. Korean. So in English, we would say Korean style fried chicken. In Chinese, you can say either Korean, which is Hangguo, or Korean style, which is Hanshi. So shi means like a style of doing something. So you can say, and then fried chicken is jiaji. So you can say Hangguo jiaji or Hanshi jiaji. So I got a box that has two flavors in it, double flavor. So in Chinese, that's called shuangpin. This is a pretty common thing, especially with fast food type restaurants here. They'll have some kind of dish where you can get two dishes together in one container, and it'll be called shuangpin. I think in the past I did something where I got like a pork cutlet and a chicken breast cutlet, like together on rice. That would also be called shuangpin. Like shuangpin just means putting two things together. So you can kind of see one of the ones I kind of got these to demonstrate the two different ways you can do this. Like this one has a sauce on it, like a wet sauce, called hupojiang. Hupo means amber. This is a little redder. Some of them tend to be browner, more like actual amber color. Although probably if you saw this sauce in a container, it would look amber color. It looks a little red on the chicken. That one was advertised as sweet and spicy. So tian la. Tian means sweet and la means spicy. So it's tian la hupojiang. The other pieces that I got over here, you can see they don't have a sauce on them. They have like a powder of seasoning sprinkled on them. And the one I got on this was just like a black pepper seasoning. It looks like it's just like some salt and pepper mixed together. And then that's just been sprinkled on it. Black pepper is called heijiao or heihujiao. And then powder is fen or fur. So you can say, in the north, most people will say fur, but you could say fen. So heihujiao fen or heihujiao fur. I think at this restaurant they left out the hu part of the word, so they just said heijiao fur. So that's the two things. This restaurant, like that I ordered from, has like a list of like 8 or 9 different seasonings probably about half of those are sauces and half of them are like powders you can get sprinkled on. So that's kind of the gist of the chicken. Give it a little bite. I got this time. So sometimes I get bone in, and sometimes I get bone out, boneless. This particular time, I was kind of feeling just like boneless. So these are just boneless, kind of large chicken nuggets. One of the things I like about getting the shuangpian, the two things together, is that often the seasonings actually complement each other and go well together. So it's nice to have them both in the same box. So like the bite I just took had a bit of the sauce and a bit of the black pepper on it. So you kind of get a bit of both. So it can be kind of nice to have them mixed together. They often complement each other. Sometimes there'll be some weird ones that like really don't go together. Like there's a cheese sauce that they'll have that you can get on it. And I've got that one, and then on the other half gotten like a spicy red like hot sauce kind of thing, and that really didn't go well together. like the cheese sauce was okay by itself, and the red pepper sauce was okay by itself, the hot sauce, but like the two flavors did not really mix together. So some things, or the cheese, and I also like, they also will usually have like a soy sauce garlic one, which I quite like. That's one of my favorite ones. I didn't get it this time. But that also does not go with the cheese. Like garlic and cheese can often be like a really weird combination. So that one often won't go together really either. Another thing, usually when you get any kind of food you're going to eat with your hands in China, they will give you this kind of thing that looks kind of like a condom packet, but inside it's, let's see if I can open it. It's actually just plastic gloves. So in general, with foods that you eat with your hands, Chinese people will wear plastic gloves while they're eating it and then throw the gloves away. I don't really like doing that, but what I will do sometimes is put a glove on one hand. So then, like, if I want to use one hand, I can have it free of the glove, and if I want one hand with the glove on, I'll have that. The other thing that comes with this is these are called niangao, which in English translates to like year cake. I don't like it. There's not a good translation that I'm aware of. They're kind of they're made from like glutinous rice. They're kind of like, sometimes they're just called rice cakes. They're made from like glutinous rice that's been just soaked until it's like just mush, and then mushed together into like kind of a dough almost. And then they kind of cook them off. Sometimes they'll steam them, sometimes they'll fry them off in a pan. And they don't have much flavor. They have kind of a chewy texture, and they're great with like whatever sauce that happens to be in. So like if you're getting this chicken, it'll just have the chicken sauce on it. If you're at a Korean barbecue, they'll often have it in kind of a red spicy sauce that'll go with it. But there's all kinds of different ways to have them. But they're in Chinese, they're called niangao. I don't really think there's a great English name for them. But it's just kind of like chewy compressed rice, basically, that's been turned into a dough, a chewy rice dough. But I quite like them. The interesting comparison, I would say, between Korean style, at least in China, Korean style fried chicken and American style fried chicken is if you get it plain without the seasonings and the sauces on it, American style fried chicken will be much tastier. It'll have much more flavor to it. Because the actual pieces of fried chicken in the Korean style often don't have a lot of flavor. But once you get all these sauces and stuff on, it's like they pack a punch of flavor, and they're super, super flavorful. When I ordered, they also, this was just in the checkout, there was a little thing you could add on a few extra pieces of chicken. So this bag just has a couple extra pieces of the, I think it's got the same Hupo-jang. It might be, no, that smells the same. It's possible it's the hotter, like red pepper sauce, but it smells like it's got some sugar in it. It smells like the sweet one. So, these are big chunks, but like they just cut up chunks of bone. They cut the bones out and get big chunks, and then just batter them up and fry them. It's like it'll often be dark meat. Some pieces will have white meat mixed in. In this style of chicken, they tend to not really care. It's not something that's like sort of even given preference one way or the other. And even sometimes in one piece, it'll be like half dark and half light, because it was just like they don't butcher the chicken in the same way that we would in the West. They tend to just chop it up, and then for this stuff they'll then pull the bones out. But it's not butchered up by like cutting through the joints and like breaking it into all the separate little pieces that we kind of associate with like butchering a chicken in the West, where you have like 2 drumsticks and 2 thighs and 2 breasts and 2 wings. Like, they don't cut chicken up that way here. They just kind of chop it all up. China has different butchering sort of tradition than the West. So like, if you go to a Western shop, they can butcher it that way, and most Chinese butchers can butcher it the Western way. Like, they can do it. It's just not the way they traditionally do it here. So like, it'll often not be butchered up the way you're kind of expecting it if you're coming from a Western standpoint. So, I think that's about it. I got a whole box full of chicken here to finish. So I'll get working on that, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one.